Like the great John Bon Jovi said, we're halfway there. Whoa, whoa. Living on a prayer.
That's the cold open right there.
I love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is
Scott.
Hey, yo. Is that his younger brother? It's gonna be
Jeff.
The cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
And you're listening to
all of the great action figures from our good friends at Hasbro.
the Fullyposeable
Have your own WrestleMania with all your favorite figures.
Wrestling Figure
Each sold separately from LJN.
Podcast.
And we are the Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling.
Hey, welcome to episode 286 of the Fullyposeable Wrestling Figure Podcast, longest running episodic wrestling figure podcast going today. My name is Jeff, and sitting alongside next to me is my real life brother, not storyline brother, who isn't feeling well, but he is mustering up to get through this show. Scott, say hello.
Hello.
Yeah, you really are feeling good, dude. You sound hell of like, ugh.
Thanks. The streak will not be broken, damn it.
So I guess I should ask, how you doing?
Been better, but look, I don't want to complain about me. I was complaining about being tired last week, and here we are. Scott's not feeling good this week. Like, look, when I die, put on my tombstone, I told you I wasn't feeling well. So if that happens over the next week or two, just put that on there.
40 years later, can we put that on your tombstone?
Yes. I told you I wasn't feeling well.
Yeah, you'll be 88 or 89, dude. You should still be good.
I knew I shouldn't have had that last drink.
This drunk podcast.
That's a whole separate thing.
So what's going on, dude? How was your 3-day?
Oh, it was nice, man. It was nice. We had an impromptu gathering not gathering. We had Eddie and his wife over on Saturday. Sunday had brother and sister-in-law over and just hung out and barbecued and used the pool, and it was great, dude. Monday was kind of a nice recovery day, just kind of watching movies and hanging out, but yeah, it was a good couple of days filled with barbecues and floating in the pool. It was a good time. How about you?
I was good, dude. Saturday was Celeste and I's anniversary, and we went out to the Vacaville outlets to kind of get us new wardrobes and everything.
Nice. Happy anniversary.
Oh, thank you. 10 years.
10 years. Whoa. That's common law marriage at this point, my friend.
Not in California. I've already looked into that, my friend. Don't think that I haven't already done my research on that. She's not getting half of this wrestling figure collection.
Nice. These are all mine.
I'm waiting for her to come out of the bedroom in 3, 2. No, nothing. Yeah, so 10 years we went to the outlets. We got ourselves all new wardrobes and stuff like that. Kind of had a nice little day, and then Sunday went to her sister's, kind of hung out at her pool. Just had a nice relaxing day out there. And then Monday was basically cleaning up around here. You know, we hadn't done that in a while, so boring adult stuff, you know.
Yeah, I gotcha. And this weekend is supposed to be in the hundreds, so good times.
That is swamp crotch galore right there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Bat wings all weekend.
Manscaped, use code WFP20. I'm just kidding.
Oh, wait. That might have expired.
That expired, I think, a year ago or something.
I think you're right, yeah.
If anybody would like to get any of our shirts, head on over to Pro Wrestling Tees or whatamaneuver.net. You can follow us on Twitter, YouTube, Snapchat, and the Book of Faces at Fullyposeable, Instagram, Fullyposeable WF. You can go back and listen to any of our past podcasts on fullyposeablepodcast.com. Download that Podbean app if you're on the go, and you can go all the way back to episode 1 and do a binge listen if you want to. Stitcher, iTunes, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. Please rate and review on iTunes. Scott, we got a review.
Really?
Yes.
It's been a bit. That's awesome.
A bit. Gave us sweet 5 stars. It comes in from, I hope I pronounce this, DYLBO Shaggins. I got Shaggins right. I don't know about the Dilbo.
Okay, so I'm guessing that's a play on Bilbo Baggins from the Lord of the Rings.
Is that a Chappelle Show character?
No, it is not.
Oh.
No, that he wasn't one of the guys at the dice game.
God, Chappelle Show was so good, dude.
It's Oh my gosh. You can't really call it underrated because everybody still loves it. But man, when you did a show back in the mid 2000s, you only went, 2 or 3 seasons, and people are still talking about you 16 years later. You did something right. But yes, amazing show.
Yep. Review is titled The OGs of WFP. This review comes a half-decade late. Never too late, man.
Never too late, especially when they're 5 stars.
I've been listening to Scott and Jeff since before I got back into wrestling figure collecting and largely owe my current hobbies, collecting and wrestling figure database. Dylan to them. Dylan's the lead guy on the wrestling figure database.
Oh, nice. Thank you, Dylan.
They were the first and at the time only people talking about wrestling figures, and they did so with infectious fondness and kindness that you couldn't help feel the lure of the hobby you once loved. Sorry this review comes after enjoying years of content. I'm a bad person. No, you're not, dude. You've actually given us a great website like Wrestling Figure Database to go on and see all the figures that have been put out over the years, starting from Popey all the way up to now, and even giving us a deep dive on certain wrestlers. So like every Ric Flair is up there, every Bret Hart, just so on and so forth. So thank you for putting together a great website, and thank you again for the review.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Dylan. And yeah, the Wrestling Figure Database, that is a great tool to use while we're doing our nostalgia segment, especially if you're going back and doing the binge listens, and we're talking about like LJNs, Galoobs, especially Remcos, because a lot of people were unfamiliar with the Remcos when we were talking about them. It got quite a few people into it, and that makes me happy. So yeah, definitely check out Wrestling Figure Database.
Ring skirts were sorry to your wallet because he got into the Remcos because of us.
Yeah, but if he got into them early enough, he's not paying those inflated prices now.
I think he did.
Oh, no.
No. I'm sorry. He did get into them earlier.
Good. So he's not paying $400 for a set of Rose and Summers.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Loose.
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude.
It's insane, dude. It is insane. Remco's blew up. Yeah, you think that guy's still going to sell me the loose set of Rose and Summers for $60 at the toy show?
Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, right? I'll keep my fingers crossed on that one.
Dylan, thank you so much for the review. We appreciate it. You can send us any audio questions, or anything else at all. Send it on over to fullyposablewfp@gmail.com. I'm still crying over the 10 years, Scott.
I'm sure Celeste is thrilled with that.
I'm hoping she has her headphones on in the other room.
You really wanted to come in and start swinging.
Swinging, kicking, everything, dude.
Yeah, you're in for it if she hears this. Good thing she never listens to the show.
Daddy likes this. No, I'm just kidding.
What?
What? Scott, I want to switch it on over to the Good Brother giveaway. GBM was kind enough to put up a variant. Oh, wait, she is staring at me.
Oh, boy.
Oh, she gave me the death stare.
And you're sleeping on the couch. I'd call us even.
Good Brother Mike was kind enough to give away a variant, Greg the Hammer Valentine. And I interviewed with Good Brother Mike earlier this evening. So I would like to jump into that. So let's turn it over to Good Brother Mike. And joining us is Good Brother Mike. GBM, how have you been, man?
Jeff, what's going on? It's nice to be back on the show with you.
We were kind of talking before we jumped on, but I was noticing like the last time I had talked to you like on the phone, and granted you and I have a bunch of group chats that we're in, whether it's with you and Scott or you and Norm, you know, we got a group chats going on all over the place. But at the same time, I was like, I don't even remember the last time we talked on the phone. I think it was late last year.
Yeah, I mean, we text almost every day, pretty much every day, or, you know, me and you, Norm, me, you, Scott, like you said. But yeah, it had been a while, and that's what I was thinking about the other day. I was in Target and I seen that Hammer Chase figure, and you're not just gonna leave it there. I mean, I already have one, but I'm like, it's been a while. Maybe we'll do a giveaway.
There you go, man. We like the way you think, dude. How you been? What's new in your world?
Not too much, you know. Just I'm still out there hunting, picking up stuff here and there. I just picked up the Kama not too long ago.
Nice.
That's a pretty nice figure. Picked up the Zelina like a week or two maybe. So 85s hit here pretty quickly after 84s did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had 84s in Walmart for a little bit, but they just started hitting Target, and now Walmarts are getting the 85s, which is good to see. But now I'm all caught up on that, and I got to wait for the next set already.
Gotcha. And you've actually started collecting the AEW figures, which I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of surprised by. And the reason I'm surprised by that is because you've always been a WWF guy.
Yeah.
For you
WWF,
to jump,
WWE.
yeah, for you to jump into that pool of AEW figures, I was kind of surprised by.
Yeah, people were like kind of questioning it also because I don't really watch AEW on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, if you don't watch it, why would you collect the figures? But I'm a figure collector. I like wrestling, and I think I'm more of like, I like the figures more than the products sometimes. I mean, I know WWE has been struggling a little bit here and there to put out,
right,
a good product, but I'm a collector, it's just another line, and I got into it and got almost everything they've put out so far.
Yeah, you were mentioning that before we started talking, was that you are now getting into those, or you've collected almost everything. Are you going to jump into the Unmatched series?
That line actually, I believe, just went up for pre-order today or yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even remember. My days get so messed up with my work schedule, but I did put an order in for that. I've bashed Ringside a lot because of their packaging, but with these, you got to get the protectors to get a good figure, and I've seen a lot of people posting getting chase figures in their order.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's, might be an easier way to get a chase figure, I figure, what the hell, I'll try it out.
So allegedly you get a chase figure. Not everybody does get the chase figure, but
right.
Yeah. Allegedly.
It seems like there's a better chance of you getting one that way.
Yes.
I mean, I did find the MJF in the store,
mm-hmm.
but he was the only one so far.
You were actually watching the product last night, weren't you?
Yeah, I was home. I put it on, and it was actually pretty entertaining. I guess if I do sit down and watch it, I might like it. But, I've seen here and there, watched, didn't really, pique my interest too much. But last night, the show I thought was really good. And then, they do like the lights out, lights come on, and it's Malachi Black.
Yeah.
Like that was a big surprise that, you don't get any spoilers for that. He's just there, which I kind of figured, he would end up there, but the way they did it was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then, he's still continuing with the eye. So that's kind of neat to see.
Yeah, I like that continuation of the story. I do dig that. I think that's pretty cool. So outside of wrestling figures, is there anything else that you're collecting?
Not really. I mean, I picked up some of those new He-Man figures for the cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
I got the Skelegod and the Battle Cat. Seen those in Target the other day, and I know he said he wanted those, so I hit him up, and he was, oh yeah, man. He's like, let me know how much, I'll PayPal you right away. So picked a couple of those up for him, but yeah, other than wrestling, I can't really get into much of anything else.
Now, when you said the He-Man figures, are you talking about the new highly articulated ones?
Yeah, that Revelation.
Yeah, those are cool looking, and that's one of those, like, I want those, but there's no way I'm jumping into that pool.
Yeah, they look really cool. I actually seen like the display, like the shipper display at one of my Walmarts the other day with all like the He-Man, Skeletor, Evil Lyn, Moss Man.
Yeah.
And the Moss Man looks really cool because he kind of reminds me of like Bigfoot, which I have an interest in.
My favorite comedian of all time had a joke about Bigfoot. He goes, he's all, I believe Bigfoot is blurry. There is an out of focus monster running around.
Well, yeah, because nobody can get like a clear picture of it.
Right. Oh, God, he was so good. Anyways, it's one of those things regarding going back to the He-Man. I'm actually interested to see if the cartoon makes me want to pick up some of those highly articulated figures. But again, that's one of those, I can't get into that. Then if I jump into that, I've got to give up something else. And there's really nothing else to give up. Unless I give up the NECA Back to the Future figures, which I don't foresee me giving those up. So, but I can't wait for that cartoon to come out for He-Man too, that Kevin Smith is doing.
Right. And then that might entice more younger kids to get into it.
And that's
basically how it was when we were little. Like you seen like a cartoon or something on TV, and then you see the figures in the store, and you're like, oh man, I gotta have those.
Yep. The cartoon is what drew us in to the toys, and that's what I'm really curious about the He-Man series. Because I see Dad sitting down watching the He-Man cartoon on Netflix. The son or daughter is gonna walk in. They're going to start watching it, and they're like, hey, is there any toys of this? Oh, baby, let's head down to Target.
Yeah, and then that's when the wallet heat comes in.
Oh, yeah. Oh, big time, man. Out of curiosity, is there any shortage of figures out there, or
it depends on what store you go to. I mean, we have some Walmarts that, the aisle, like the action figure aisle with like the He-Man. I mean, it's kind of bare.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you'll have like the He-Man and the Skeletor, but that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that Rise of Evil 2-pack, I seen a few of those on the shelf still the other day. That was pretty popular, and
yeah,
they got like a restock, and now they're kind of sitting there. But I think it just depends on, the line, like the Marvel and the DC. That stuff comes in, and initially it'll get wiped out, and then they get a restock, and they kind of sit there because people got what they wanted, and now the stores are getting more, and which is kind of shitty because I want this on the pegs, and then once you have it, you're good. Then they get more in, and it just kind of sits there.
Yeah. What about for the Legends? Are you seeing a lot of those on Target's pegs?
Oh yeah, we a few weeks ago, I was in the store checking out the figures, and the girl walked up, and she had 2 cases of the Legends in her hands.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, which ones you got there? She's like, oh, well, we just got assigned like a new warehouse, and these just came in, and it was 2 boxes of Series 7. I'm like, oh, jeez. So, like, we got a bunch of Heenans on the shelf. We got some Volkovs still there. I actually seen the Cena. They had like 3 or 4 of them, and he was on clearance already.
Already?
Already.
Oh, my God.
But not the Heenan, just the Cena was on clearance. So I don't know if they have an overstock of him in the back or something, but yeah, clearance already. I mean, I think it was like $16.99, so not too much, but yeah, I mean, Heenan's been out for how many years now?
I think only 1, if even that. But
okay, well, yeah, Cena's like the newest one, and he's clearance already. But meanwhile, Cena, the Heenans are everywhere.
And you're also going back and completing your Hasbro collection, aren't you?
I'm working on it. I'm getting pretty close.
So, what was your most recent pickup?
I actually just picked up the second set of the Bushwhackers to kind of upgrade the set that I had because I didn't have the hats for them, so I picked up a set of Bushwhackers with the hats.
Where'd you find those at?
On Mercari.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
How much did you pay for those? Because I know those prices kind of fluctuate on those.
I think I got them like right around. It was like $140, but I had like some stuff that I sold off, so it wasn't really anything out of pocket.
Oh, okay, cool. And
I'm trying to like kind of keep the wallet heat down, so I'm trying to move some stuff to accumulate some money where I'm not paying out of pocket too much.
Right. Sell off some stuff to purchase some stuff, right?
Yeah, seems like a lot of people are selling stuff off these days. Kind of, I don't know if it's downsizing, getting rid of stuff that you didn't really need when you got it, but you had to have it at the time.
Like me sitting on a pile of Vaders over here.
Oh yeah, how big is that stack, by the way?
Next question. How are you doing, man?
Yeah, I haven't seen any Vaders here in a few weeks now.
Well, what's funny is the Vaders have now switched over to the Cenas, because Norm sent you that picture out here where he was sitting on 17 Cenas or something like that. He counted.
Yeah, I actually ran into a store one day where I think there was like 15 or 17 Eddies.
And it's funny too because Eddie was one of the first ones snatched up out here. It's so crazy, the difference of collecting between over there and over here. It's just crazy, man.
I mean, maybe the distribution or like what you like. I mean, can't really explain it.
But GBM, you are doing a giveaway, and what this giveaway is a variant Greg the Hammer Valentine Legend. Speaking of the Legends, you are giving one away on behalf of us, and so we thank you big time. And I think I'll turn it over to you to announce the winner.
Yeah, as long as everybody followed the rules, followed, retweeted, all that good stuff. We did pick a winner, and the winner of the Hammer Chase figure is at @short_MC_short.
Short McShort. Congratulations.
Short
McShort. Congratulations. You have 7 days to hit us up. Send us your information. Tell us that you listened, and then we'll get your information. We'll get you your figure congratulations. GBM, are you after you get done collecting the Hasbros, are you going to go back to collecting anything else, like maybe LJNs, maybe some certain Jax figures, any Galoobs, anything like that?
I am not sure. I do have a handful of the LJNs, but with the way prices are, I am a lot farther away from a complete collection of those, so I'm not sure if I'll go that route or not. I have some of the Galoobs, but none of the UK ones, and those are pricey themselves.
Yep.
But yeah, I think I still got to work on the Hasbros. I still need the Evil Crush, the Yoko in white from the Green Card series.
Mm-hmm.
I need a handful of accessories, like the chains from both Razor Ramones. I don't have the yellow King of the Ring. I might be missing one of the other rings also.
Gotcha.
The Macho Man, not the Macho King on the rear end, but the Macho Man. I don't have that one. And then, the Malaways.
Yeah. Did we ever tell you, or I don't know if we've ever told the story on the show, but back in 93, we had purchased the second Razor, or we had purchased a Razor, and we had an extra set of gold chain. Well, one of my buddies, who's still one of my best friends to this day, his name is Nathan. Nathan goes, hey, dude, by chance, do you have any extra gold chains for Razor? And I was like, funny, you just mentioned that. We just bought an extra Razor, and we have an extra gold chain. I'll bring it into you. And he goes, cool, thanks, man. And I was like, yeah, and you can have it, And I go, yeah, I'll bring it into you at school. So the next day at school, I bring him the gold chain. And so Scott picks me up from school that day, and I get into his truck, and Scott goes, hey, dude, I'm missing one of Razor's gold chains. He goes, we should have two. And I said, oh, yeah, I gave that to Nathan. We had an extra one, so I thought I'd give it to him. And I'm sitting facing forward, but you know how when you can feel someone giving you a death stare?
Oh, yeah, you can sense that. Definitely.
Yes. So the truck isn't moving, and I feel this death stare, and I look over at Scott, and he goes, you did what? I said, oh, I gave it to Nathan. We had an extra one. He goes, dude, you better call Nathan the second we get home and tell him to bring that gold chain back to school tomorrow, because you were not supposed to give that to him. And I was like, but we had an extra one. He goes, I don't give a shit. He goes, you get that gold chain and bring it back to me tomorrow after school. I'm like, okay. So I get it home. I call Nathan and I was all, hey, Nathan, you know that gold chain I gave you? He goes, yeah. I was all, I wasn't supposed to give you that. Scott's going to kill me. I need that chain back tomorrow or I'll be dead. And he goes,
I'll be dead.
I'll be dead. He goes, oh, dude. He goes, okay, I understand, man. And I think Scott was hanging out in the hallway making sure I called Nathan to get the gold chain back from him. And so I kind of turned around and Scott kind of went back into another room to play video games. And so I kind of went out of my room and I was all, I'm getting the gold chain back tomorrow. He's all, yeah, make sure Nathan brings that gold chain to you tomorrow. I'm like, okay. Scott was so pissed. I think I can count on my one hand how many times in my lifetime Scott has literally wanted to kill me. And I think that was one of them.
Well, if you can count them on one hand, I guess that's a good thing.
I think I'm doing well in 42 years.
Right. But yeah, you can definitely sense when, you're getting that death stare.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Uh-oh.
I'm looking straight forward and I'm like, why isn't the truck moving? Man, I feel like somebody's staring at me. And Scott is leaning over in the truck. And he's like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, I have a younger brother. And yeah, I do recall a few times where, yeah. Get that. I'm going to kill you.
Did he ever break?
You broke something of mine.
Did he ever break any of your toys?
Oh, I'm sure he did.
Oh man,
but I do remember times where we would be messing around and I'd hurt him or something, and he'd start crying and be, oh no, dude, stop crying, don't tell on me. I'll give you this or I'll do this for you, just so I wouldn't get in trouble. But. Yeah, there was definitely times where it was I'm going to kill you, kind of like in Dumb and Dumber with Harry. I'm going to kill you, Lloyd. When he had the extra pair of gloves.
Yes.
You had that extra pair of gloves this whole time? Well, yeah, we're in the Rockies.
Harry, you're alive. And a horrible shot. One of my favorite movies. I love that movie. At short_Mick _short. Congratulations. You have 7 days to hit us up to claim your Greg the Hammer Valentine. And GBM, we thank you so much for putting this figure up for us.
It's been a while, so I figured let's do it again and maybe not wait so long until we do the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. And next time I'm going to drag Scott on, I will make sure that he is on so we can all have a fun little conversation.
Yeah. I liked last time when we were able to talk to all three of us.
Yeah, absolutely. GBM, thank you. _McShort, congratulations. And GBM, until we text again tomorrow, or
most likely,
or actually probably tonight while you're on your way to work, we'll probably be texting something about with Norm or Scott.
Yeah, I'm sure. I've had to kind of silence the texting so I can get my naps in. But then, once I'm up, then I start responding. But yeah, Norm likes to text a lot. So.
Oh, by the way, quick, before we go, favorite figure so far this year?
Ooh, it's been 6 months. I don't even remember 2 days ago, let alone what's come out this year.
You're collecting stuff all the time. You can't remember what you bought.
I know. I get so much stuff in. I don't know. Actually, I think I kind of like that Jurassic Express exclusive that they did with Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy.
Uh-huh.
The packaging on that's like really big. It's bigger than I thought it would be, but the way they have it set up and displayed, I think that looks really cool. I really like that one.
I like how they have Jungle Boy carrying Luchasaurus in one and Luchasaurus carrying Jungle Boy in another.
Yeah, I always wondered if that was like a mix-up initially, and then they just ran with it, like, oh, we'll just sell that as a variant, or if that was like purposely done that way.
So that's your favorite figure this year so far?
I think so, as of recently.
Oh, okay. As you said, you don't remember what you purchased a week ago.
Oh, yeah, I got so much stuff. Maybe like the Hasbro editions that I've bought throughout the year so far, like Atom Bomb, 1-2-3 Kid, the Billy and Bart gun.
Oh,
like
yeah.
those are big additions to the Hasbro collection. But
that's some big.
I don't know. I like it. I like everything. Otherwise, I wouldn't buy it.
That's some big boy spending right there. GBM, thank you again for coming on and offering up the Greg the Hammer Valentine. GBM, we love you over here, man.
Feelings are mutual.
All right, have a good one, dude.
All right, guys. See ya.
GBM, we cannot thank you enough, man, for putting that out. So, congratulations to @short_MC_short. Congratulations. You do have 7 days to slide into our DMs. Give us all your information. Let us know you listened, and then we will send you the variant Greg the Hammer Valentine, which is awesome because now that cons are opening up, now that signings are opening back up, Greg the Hammer Valentine's going to be at these things, and guess what? Boom, you can get the sign. So, again, congratulations. You have 7 days to hit us up, and GBM, we can't thank you enough, man.
Yeah, congrats, dude, and GBM, thanks again, my friend.
Scott, did you do any toy spotting?
Just the Cobra Island re-releases on Target. I jumped on because the only figure I'm missing out of the Joe Classified set is the Cobra Trooper. So I went ahead and picked him up, set him up for store delivery so that I wouldn't have to pay for shipping. Because, yes, I am that cheap bastard. And I should have him this coming Thursday, actually. So that's the only toy spotting I did.
Gotcha. No jumping on wrestling figures or anything?
No, not yet, although I am keeping an eye on Amazon for that Hogan fan takeover or the fan vote Ultimate Edition.
Ah, gotcha. I think a lot of people are waiting for that one. And the Jeff Hardy, I should say.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool looking. It was brought to my attention through the Chick Foley Facebook group that the Hogan, I think you pointed it out too, Jeff, is going to have the stubble on the face.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be a wait and see. I'll kind of see how it looks. And if I like the face sculpts, it's mine. But I have some concerns.
Okay, what are your concerns?
That it's going to look funky. Because the stubble is perfect for the NWO Hogan, but it's not perfect for WrestleMania 9 Hogan. So that's my concern, is it's going to look funky. So I kind of want to see some pictures. More pictures, I should say.
Okay, understandable. I can't wait for both of those to hit, dude. I want the Jeff, I want the Hogan.
Oh yeah, the Hardy's sweet.
And plus, I'm all in on these Ultimate Editions now, dude. These things are awesome, man.
Yeah, pricey, but yes, amazing.
Yeah, they're $30. I mean, okay, that's still pricey, but I mean, with the extra heads and the extra arms and all the accessories and
oh yeah, the value's there for sure. It's an easy sell.
Yeah, absolutely. I got the X-Pac fan takeover figure.
Oh, nice. You had pre-ordered it?
I did, and it came in, and it's actually pretty cool.
Oh, very cool. So you ordered X-Pac, and you
Yes.
received X-Pac.
Yes.
Nice. So you didn't get a bunch of mechanical pencils like poor Justin Summers did.
I still want Justin to just sit there and click the mechanical pencils like...
Yes.
Where's
While
my
drumming his
Gargano?
fingers, like looking at a picture of just Amazon.
I'm going to spay and neuter these mechanical pencils. Just
I'm
kidding,
clicking in
Justin.
your general direction, Amazon.
Just kidding, Justin. We love you, man. I feel bad for her, dude. I mean, that's
Oh,
like
I do too. That's horrible.
Nobody can top that one. I mean, get mechanical pencils over a Johnny Gargano figure. What the, Anyways.
Yeah, yeah.
Also from special guest Sean, he brought me my Ricky Steamboat Motu figure, my Macho Man Motu figure, and my Roddy Piper Motu figure. So I'm glad to have those. Those are figures, dude, that I don't want to get into, but I think I'm able to just pick off one here and there. So like special guest Sean has had these for a while, so I paid him way back in the day.
Okay.
So they were already signed, sealed, and delivered, and he just brought those to me. Have you seen the Revelations figures for He-Man?
Yes, I have.
Dude, that's going to be one of those. I'm going to be watching the cartoon, and I'm going to be like, man, I can't get into the Revelations, and I'm going to start eyeballing them. And I'm like, maybe if I just get He-Man. No, I can't do it. Okay, maybe He-Man and Skeletor. That won't break the budget, or that won't break the bank. No, I can't do it. You're going to have that internal debate going on inside you.
And then before you know it, you have a Castle Grayskull in your living room.
Oh, did you get one?
No.
Oh.
I'm talking about you.
Oh.
No, I did not get a Castle Grayskull. No matter how much you and Travis continue to badger me, I have not yet purchased the Castle Grayskull.
I like how you added a yet.
I have to throw it in because you can't say never, right?
Is it bold, italicized, and underlined?
Yes.
And highlighted?
Yes. With little asterisks on either side of it to really make it stand out.
Asterisks like what they put in front of Barry Bonds stats?
Exactly. Yes. Juiced numbers.
I'm just kidding. They didn't throw any asterisks in front of Bonds.
Yeah, just kidding, Barry, if you're listening.
Hey. Don't you knock Barry. He's one of the greatest hitters of all time.
I totally agree with you. I wish he had played for the Yankees.
I was watching a Ken Griffey Jr. documentary, and he was talking about how he had never played for the Yankees.
I know.
That was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I know. I read that, and I'm no longer a Ken Griffey fan. No, I'm just kidding. I love Ken Griffey Jr.
Dude, he was one of the greatest as well. Anyways, enough baseball talk. We got to get back to talking toys. So, Scott, what do you say we get in the news?
Let's go talk about it.
Oh, you gonna learn today.
Scott, in the news, Zombie Sailor signed Slick. So that goes with the one-man gang that he announced last week. So Slick will be coming in the Zombie Sailor Hasbro line. I should say retro line. Also, Good Smile, known for their 16D figures, the statue figures, or the soft vinyl figures, I should say, available for pre-order is Hogan in red and yellow, but it's Hogan in the red and yellow pants. So picture 2003 Hogan and NWO Hogan. And now Hogan has his hand up to his ear like he normally does, traditional Hogan pose. And also in that is Antonio Inoki. You can check these out on Twitter at goodsmile_US, and you can pre-order these.
Nice. Are you getting a set?
I'm getting Hogan black and white. So it's funny, dude. I love the Hulk Hogan character, but for some reason, when he started wearing long tights, I just couldn't get into it for some reason.
Yeah, you liked his legs.
Yeah, dude. He never skipped leg day.
Right. Hogan was very religious about doing leg day in addition to arm day. That's how he got the 24-inch pythons. But yeah, you liked him to show his legs, not his tights.
Right. Well, it's funny too because he wore the tights during the NWO years.
Yeah.
And I didn't mind that, but when he switched over to the red and yellow tights or sorry, in WWF. Or WWE. I didn't really get into it. And I don't know if it was because I was older and I was kind of over Hogan or whatnot, but I don't know. It's just something I couldn't get into.
Well, no, you just prefer the old school look. That's all.
That's a good point. So check out goodsmile_US on Twitter for those. Also, Steve Ozer on the Wrestling Figs message boards. Somebody asked him, so Legends 12 is this fall, then when is Legends 11? As 10 drops in July, and will any of them be online only? Steve replied, pre-orders for DDP and Brutus should be shipping in July, with more stock expected to go up on Target.com. They are online exclusives. Legend Series 11 will hit Targets in late July, early August, roughly. Big John Studd is running a bit behind, so expect a few weeks later. There will not be a pre-sale for Series 11. Series 12 will have a pre-sale. All figures in Series 11 and 12 will be available in store.
Perfect.
He's saying more stock's going to go up on Target.com for Brutus and DDP, so we can get our Brutus figures?
Yes, our Brutais, if you will.
Yes. So that's good news. I know you were getting concerned about Brutus and DDP, so there you go, Scott.
Yeah, well, I'm skipping DDP entirely, but yeah, getting definitely concerned about Brutus. I definitely want to pick up 2 of those.
Gotcha. Are you going to Silicon Valley Con?
It's tricky because that's next month, right? That's in August.
Yeah, late August.
August is super tricky for me because, as I said, we're doing SummerSlam. Oh, by the way, it looks like the location that we had picked for the Drunk Wrestling History meetup is changing because there's a fight that night. I believe it's a Pacquiao fight.
At the Drunk Wrestling History meetup?
Hopefully not. So apparently there's a Pacquiao fight that night, and a lot of the bars are going to be showing that fight. And usually you have to pay more to get in. So because we're just wanting to drink and hang out and talk wrestling, we're not going to do that. So there's going to be a new location soon to be determined. And as soon as I know where that is, I will let you guys know.
Why don't you guys hold it in a gentleman's church?
I mean, we could.
That's a drunk thing to do.
We could. I mean, the cover might be higher on Saturday night. And
good point.
We wouldn't necessarily be sitting there talking about wrestling.
So that is the most recent news. We're a couple of weeks away from San Diego Comic-Con, so the news is going to be light here for the next few weeks. And since Scott's not feeling good, we're just going to go right into the listener segment. Scott, I'm proud of you for coming on and powering through the show. You got the Dayquil and Bang cocktail coursing through your veins. I
do. I was feeling strong earlier, dude. If we had been doing this like 2 hours ago, I'd be a house of fire. Now I'm like a smoldering log.
Log. It's log. It's log. It's big. It's heavy. It's wood. See if anybody gets that.
It's better than bad. It's good.
It's good. Everyone wants a log. All right. Anyways, Scott, we need to get into the listener segment. What do you say?
Let's go talk to him.
And I just want to hear from my people. Tell me, can I hear from my people? I just want to hear from my people. And I just want to listen to the listeners.
Scott, the first question comes in from the great, the wonderful, the delightful, the handsome one himself, Christopher Dean. Christopher says, hello again, gents. Sorry about my question last week as I broke my own rules with my tag team top 50. Oh, yes, Christopher caught himself. He broke his own rules. He said, I'd have to take out Boston Hug Connection and add the Canadian Ninjas out of Shimmer. Moving on, with it being July, the midpoint of the year, and SDCC, it's a perfect time to look back and get your opinions on the best figs so far in wrestling, Joe, or any genre. I was talking with Jeff about this briefly, so it got me thinking. I'd have to say Jungle Express, but that Asuka coming soon, and some of the Marvel Legends, specifically the Falcon as Captain America with his flying suit, are in the running. Take care, gentlemen. Hope you had a good 4th of July, Christopher.
Oh, thank you, Christopher. And yes, you're right, Jeff. The handsome one himself, Mr. Dean, always sending in the thoughtful questions. Man, I can't top what I said earlier this year when I saw him. I still think that Vader is figure of the year so far.
Out of any of the figures? Meaning...
Across everything. Across all of it.
Wow. NECA, Marvel Legends, anything. G.I. Joe.
Well, I mean, I've seen pictures, but I don't collect the Marvel Legends. I don't collect the Star Wars. So I do collect the wrestling. And that Vader, to me, so far, figure of the year. There are definitely some figures that are going to be up there in the top 10. That Edge Ultimate Edition, the Macho Man Ultimate Edition, incredible looking figures. The Liv Morgan Elite, the Zelina Vega Elite, all awesome. As Christopher mentioned, that upcoming Asuka, great looking figures. I love the Jungle Express 2-pack that he talked about. That Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, great looking figures. But for me, top of the mark is that Vader figure.
I'm going to have to agree with you. Vader is just a wonderful figure. I mean, from top to bottom, it's a perfect figure. Close second, though, is the Ultimate Edition Macho Man. That's a close second. And I'm already giving away my top 10 for this year as of right now. We'll see what happens in the coming months. But going outside of wrestling, one figure that I want to give it up to, and I want to thank Luis Rivera for this, a.k.a. at Senator Porcupine, a perfect figure, that Doc Brown from Back to the Future 2.
Ah, yes. And see, you've actually held that one in hand and seen it. I don't really pay too much attention to the Back to the Futures, but I'm sure they'd make my list if I did.
Oh, dude, the Doc Brown is perfect. And I know there's some Ninja Turtle fans out there going, what about the Ninja Turtles? Those are good as well from NECA. Holy crap, those things are beautiful. The Doc Brown outside of wrestling figures, if you look at the Christopher Lloyd head, oh my God, dude, it's perfect. Like, I showed it to Mom, and Mom's like, wow, they really did a good job on Doc Brown. I was like, right?
Yeah, it's really hard to turn away from those, right? And not collect them?
Correct.
Yeah, I just can't take that wallet heat. I wish I could get them all. I would include, they came out last year, though, the movie Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle 4-pack, or the 4 figures that NECA put out. But those were last year. I got them this year, but they came out last year. Great looking figures. NECA does incredible work. But if I had to go into G.I. Joe, I really like that Flint figure. They did an awesome job on the Flint, so he would be kind of my pick for Joe this year. But, well, that Snake Eyes coming out with Timber, that was going to give Flint a run for his money. But for wrestling, for me, because at the end of the day, we are a wrestling figure podcast, that Vader is so far my figure of 2021.
Not Zartan?
The Zartan's awesome, and I like the Cobra Infantry figure a lot, but there's just something about that Flint. The Zartan is like 1A. It's really, really good, but I really like, the more I've looked at that Flint figure, the more I like it. But I think when that Snake Eyes figure comes out with Timber, that's going to overtake the Flint. The retros, nothing really jumps out at me as far as the figures go. They're good, but they're pretty much re-releases of the 25th figures. So I'm not really going to pick any of those, but that Vader is just so, I know I keep going back to it, but man, just incredible. The accessories that come with it, the mask,
right?
The maskless head, the mask to put on the maskless head, just so well thought out by Mattel. I just love it.
Actually, speaking of the Vader figure, I was talking to GBM, and he says he hasn't been seeing as many Vaders. A lot of people are starting to find the John Cena around more than the Vader now, so we got to switch it up to the Cena that came with the Vince puppet and all the Funhouse characters from Bray Wyatt.
We've got Cena to keep Heenan company on the pegs.
So far, halfway point, those are the figures of the year for us. Christopher, thank you so much for sending that in. Scott, next listener question comes in from Justin Summers.
Hello, Scott and Jeff. This is once again Justin Summers from Wrestling Cheers with my weekly question. And, yesterday I went on to Ringside Collectibles and pre-ordered myself a Britt Baker AEW Unmatched Series 1 figure. And you know what? I was pretty excited for it. I think technically this is going to be my first figure I've ever bought of someone who follows me on Twitter, I think. But regardless, I'm so happy she's finally getting a figure. That kind of gets me thinking, between WWE and AEW, what wrestlers are you excited for them to release a figure of who's never had a figure at least by that respected company. I guess that's an easier question for AEW wrestlers because that's where a lot of mine come from. So first and foremost, I gotta go Eddie Kingston, Ethan Page, Marco Stunt, and Colt Cabana. It'll be exciting to just have a figure of Marco Stunt and Eddie Kingston because they haven't really had one, if I'm correct, and that's not counting Cabana's micro brawler or brawlers because I think he might have more than one. And of course, not his figures toy company figure. It's hard to think of who I would be excited for in WWE to have a figure. I mean, I gotta wonder if they'll make it to release without getting released. The only person I could think of that would come close would be Cameron Grimes. I know technically Trevor Lee did also have a figure with Figures Toy Company, but technically Cameron Grimes hasn't had a figure at all. So I think that would be a very cool pickup. Other than that, WWE has released figures from wrestlers that I love, whether it be, Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae and, a bunch of other talent that I watched come up through the ranks in the independent scene. So yeah, it's pretty much a lot of AEW people for me. But once a lot of those guys get figures, especially Eddie Kingston, Ethan Page, and Marco Stunt, that's a day one pre-order for me. What about you guys? Who are your picks? That will do it for me this week. No spade or neuter this week, but I do want to mention something that I've always thought of, especially while listening to the intro of this show. Jeff, you always say you are real life brothers, not storyline brothers, which, true, but then you say you are sitting next to or sitting across from whatever, Scott. The way I look at it, it's real life brother, not storyline brother, but sitting next to, not in real life, but in storyline wise, you are. I don't know. Always kind of makes me chuckle. But I will take my answer off the air. Talk to you guys next week. Later.
Justin, no one was supposed to know that, so like Thanos, I will make it all disappear. Yeah, shh. Justin, shh. 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 Psst.
Jeff, quick, snap your fingers. Very good.
Hold on.
Wave the Men in Black pen just to back it up.
Mechanical pencil. You're supposed to see. It works because it was Justin's question. Okay, so a little backstory to that is, I always say sitting alongside next to me is my real life brother, not storyline brother. Well, technically, Scott is on FaceTime and he's sitting next to me. I'm peeling back the curtain. I mean, it's been 5 years, so I guess I could do this. But so when we were sitting next to each other for the first 8-9 months of the show,
yeah, it was about that.
We were literally sitting right across from each other. So, and that's how I got into that spiel of sitting alongside next to me. So I will say sitting alongside next to me has continued on because Scott is still sitting alongside next to me via FaceTime. Maybe not in the literal sense of literally sitting right next to me, but technically speaking, he is sitting alongside next to me. So that's why I always say that he's still there with me doing the show, because he's right there.
Yeah, technology and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, that's why I keep saying that part at the beginning of the show. You weren't supposed to pick up on that, Justin, but
just play along, like when you're watching wrestling.
It shows you're listening, and I appreciate that. I can't be too mad at that. Now going to your question, people that I want a figure of in WWE, I'm going to go NXT, Bronson Reed.
That would be a good one.
I'm looking forward to his first figure. It's funny, dude. There was something about him when we went to Santa Cruz and saw NXT a couple years back. There was something about Bronson Reed because he was on the first 2 matches, I think, or something like that, first 2 or 3 matches. And he was a big, intimidating guy. And I was like, okay, this is like an 80s wrestler, and he can move pretty good. And he did a good job. So I started to follow as he started to get more TV time. And I'm like, okay, this guy's pretty good. So I was like, okay, now I want to get this guy to get a figure. And I'm hoping he does get a figure because I think that is a toyetic figure, a toyetic look. So Bronson Reed is one for me. Now, switching over to AEW, I got to agree with you with Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston is a guy that's long overdue for a figure. A lot of these guys have already gotten their first figures. MJF, Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus. Those were figures that we were so excited for AEW. And a lot of those guys have already gotten figures. Marco Stunt is another that I'm looking forward to seeing get a figure. And a lot of these guys are also in the pipeline to get their figures. For example, like Wardlow. Wardlow's in the pipeline. He's coming soon in a future series. There's a whole roster of guys that have never had figures in there that are getting figures that I'm looking forward to.
I've really only got one name, dude, and that's Shotzi Blackheart.
And great call.
I have a feeling when they start releasing Shotzi figures, the floodgates are going to open. It's going to be like when we were so wanting a Bray Wyatt / Fiend in our collection, and then Mattel just kind of opened up the floodgates, and we got a ton of Bray / Fiend figures. So I really think that's going to happen with Shotzi. It's going to be basic. It's going to be elite. It's probably going to be in their battle pack or whatever the title plate series is called now. But you've got to think, with as much hype as that tank got, they're going to be making a Shotzi with the tank. So she's a local person. We've seen her at Hood Slam a few times. In fact, Eddie from the Drunk Wrestling History podcast slam danced with her while, Arno Core was playing in the ring. And Shotzi had just finished her match. Arno Core got in the ring. They were playing, and Shotzi was outside the ring dancing. And Ed Martin went up and started dancing with her. It was awesome. So there's kind of like that local feel, and it did much like Johnny Gargano with Justin. Like, that's kind of how we feel about Shotzi out here. So I'm excited for those floodgates to open and start hitting us with those Shotzi figures.
Oh, that's a great call, dude. That's an excellent call. I didn't even think about that.
Well, thank you. Yeah, and I think it'd be great if they did the tank with her, too. I know we've kind of talked that to death, but it's going to be a miss if they don't come out with that tank. Got to have the firing rocket with it, too.
And she also did horror stuff out here.
She did. Creepy Kofi movie time.
That's it. Yeah, it was late nights, Saturday nights. They would show horror movies.
Yep.
But they also had, like, girls dancing.
Yes.
And a host of the show or something like that. I never watched them, but, like, I'd stop for the girls dancing, And, what?
Nuh-uh. That doesn't sound like you.
Oh, 10 years. But...
Will you stop?
Sorry. But anyways, yeah, she was on there as well, doing the dances with they'd have like a main horror guy kind of introducing the movies and kind of doing some wacky stuff. And they would do this late at Saturday nights. And it was actually kind of a funny watch because there was a lot of people that were all into this and they looked forward to it because it would start at like 11:30 and end at 1:30, like Saturday Night Live or something.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you, Justin, for your question. And again, you weren't supposed to pick up on Scott sitting alongside next to me. You weren't supposed to.
Virtually. We are virtually sitting right next to each other.
Do I have to amend the beginning?
No. Keep it going.
Thank God, because I've got the spiel down to a T, and even adding one word would mess me up.
Well, you already snapped your fingers and waved the Men in Black pen, so I think we're good. They've already forgotten, dude. Don't worry.
Justin, just joking around. Thank you so much for getting your question in. Thank you, man. We greatly appreciate you. We love you over here. Scott, last question of the week comes in from Josh Thompson. Josh says, well, boys, it's that time again. Time for JT's predictions on what we're going to see at SDCC. Forgive me for the length, guys, but I'm going to be covering everything from Mattel to AEW to FTC and Super 7. For Mattel...
JT, you never have to apologize for your length, my friend.
God damn it.
Words to live by.
How did I catch that?
I don't know. I was waiting for it. You didn't pick the low-hanging fruit, so...
Thank you for catching that, dude.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
God damn it. For Mattel, we are going to be seeing most, if not all, of the elites we'll expect to see for the rest of the year for Elite Series 88 to 95. New elite figures we can expect. Dexter Loomis. Scott, have you been talking to JT?
You just got to lead off with a single. You know what I'm saying, JT? I feel you on that one.
It's a hit by pitch, but like you said, results are the same.
You get on base.
Cameron Grimes. Justin just talked about that one.
Yep.
Austin Theory, RVD, Bronson Reed, Drew Gulak, Jason Riker, and Dominic Mysterio. Along with the contract extension, Mattel will also reveal the new Mattel Creation site with a new Mattel Creation to boot. As much as I like it to be an elite stage, I think Mattel is going to hold off in favor of a Mr. America elite.
Oh, so that's his prediction for the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive? Or is
think
that
so.
for the first figure for the Mattel creation site?
I think it's going to be the Mattel creation site.
Okay, so no prediction on what the SDCC exclusive is going to be.
Nothing as of right now.
Okay.
While we won't be getting the Elite Stage, this SDCC, we will be getting a playset of some kind. Honestly, JT, I hope you are correct for your sake. And Ringskirt's sake.
Yes, all the figure photographers out there, for sure.
AEW, a reveal of some of the playsets AEW has announced, including the entrance stage and the golf cart. That's funny. New figures, Hybrid 2, Brian Pillman Jr., FTR, Matt Seidel, Peter Avalon, and Powerhouse Hobbs. I can't wait for that Powerhouse Hobbs figure if it is true, because he is also a local guy that we were talking about locals. Powerhouse Hobbs is a local guy.
Absolutely.
2-packs will be revealed along with a 2-pack of the announcers possibly. FTC, Brian Pillman Jr. and Eli Drake's figures will be released, if not during, sometime after SDCC. More ROH guys will also be announced.
I hope so.
Super 7, the rest of Series 3 will be announced, crossing my fingers for one of them to be Kota Ibushi. It has to be. And finally, Boss Fight. The next Legends of Lucha Libre figures will be announced sometime during SDCC. Apologize again for the length there, boys. You want to take that one, Scott?
Nope, feel free. I grabbed the first one.
Never apologize for your length. But what are your predictions and thoughts? What is going to happen at SDCC? Okay, so we've talked about this a little bit at length, but the contract extension needs to be re-upped.
Yeah, which JT said it would be, so I'm hoping he's right.
And it makes sense for them to, we've talked about this to death, just renew with Mattel. That just makes the most sense. Just make it happen.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. When a company's really hitting its stride like Mattel is, you don't want to see them just drop the license. No, it's got to be extended. Go 20 plus years, please, this partnership with Mattel and WWE.
So on Friday, July 23rd at 11 a.m. GMT time, they are going to be doing the panel, the Fan Elite Squad panel. The superstars of WWE and Mattel action figure design team reveal the most exciting, authentic, upcoming WWE figure releases. Moderated by the last professional broadcaster, Sam Roberts, the panel features Mattel squad members Bill McKenna and Steve Ozer, and WWE superstars Bianca Belair, Johnny Gargano, Dominic Mysterio, and Adam Cole. Lanny Poffo also doesn't need to apologize for his length. Anyways.
Or Scorpio.
Oh, that's right.
Too cold, not Scorpio Sky. That's what Mick Foley said anyway.
Allegedly.
Well, I think he called him a genitalic freak of nature, I believe were his words.
Anyways, back to... God damn it. Let's not get off on a tangent. Anyways, so July 23rd is when they're going to be doing the reveals. So I'm looking forward to it. For JT and Ring Skirts, I'm hoping for some play sets. I'm not sure what they would be able to do as far as play sets. I mean, maybe like an old Raw stage from the old school Raw. Remember the RAW huge letters?
Oh, that would be awesome, especially if you could fit the figures on top of it to leap off of.
Yep.
Or like the SmackDown fist.
Yep.
That would be cool.
That would be cool play sets for people to play with, and I think that would lead to a lot of awesome looking photography.
Well, what about the Boneyard? You don't even need to put a figure with it. I mean, you could put an Undertaker if you wanted to, but I think people would just be happy with the Boneyard playset.
Yeah, for AEW playsets also, Scott and I have talked and joked about this before, but it'd be cool if they did the Jericho Cruise in scale with the USS flag.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that would be something, wouldn't it?
I don't know how many people would actually want that, but
it comes with a Captain Stubing figure.
But if you slap an AEW real scale ring, that might add to it. I'm just joking.
Oh man, yeah, they'll sell maybe one of those.
Nah, it would be cool if they did something similar to Daly's place. I don't know about naming rights. I don't know if they would be able to do it, but just do something cool like that. Like have the two entrances from the side with a stage. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I could see that. Backstage
sets, stuff like that. That'd be cool. And with that talk, that rounds out the show. We want everybody to head on over to... Actually, I'm going to throw in Wrestling Figure Database. We didn't get into the nostalgia segment tonight. I want everybody to go over and check out the Wrestling Figure Database, where they have every single figure that's ever been released. Great website, great layout, easy to navigate. Dylan, thank you for putting that together. Dylan, thank you again for the review. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate it. We appreciate the website you have thrown together again. That's WrestlingFigureDatabase.com. And also, check out WrestlingToyTracker.com, where you can go over and check the loose and carded prices of LJNs, Galoobs, Hasbros, Just Toys Bendums, Defining Moments, and Retros. Oh, SDCC Retros. They showed off Piper and Mean Gene.
Yeah, you got to figure we're going to see some finished product of the Retros there, right?
Yeah, they showed off the renderings.
Yes.
Of Mean Gene and Piper. Hopefully we get some finished product and some series announcements.
Ooh, maybe regarding play sets as well for the Retros. Maybe like another ring, maybe a steel cage, maybe a ring cart. Maybe our first female.
Oh, yeah. It has to be Becky Lynch, right?
I want it to be Miss Elizabeth in the white dress from WrestleMania 4.
Are they just, for the Retros, are they just going all retro people?
Well, you know, they didn't do that the first time around. You had kind of a mix of the two.
Right.
But if the He-Man line is any indication, it's going to be old school names.
Okay. In the meantime, go check out WrestlingToyTracker.com and check out those carded and loose prices for those toys if you are in the hunt for them. Again, WrestlingToyTracker.com. Also, before I get into the podcast, buddies, GBM, thank you again for doing this great giveaway. Also, I want to throw it over to our podcasting buddies, Breaker and Bane, Retro Talk, Movie Talk, Wrestling Talk, Toy Talk, and so much more. And also, I want to throw it over to TB Toycast with Travis Fowler and Brian Breaker, talking toys over there, talking a wide range of toys. So TB Toycast, wherever you get your podcasts from, and Breaker Side Project. You know it's fake, right? Also, check out our buddies Doing the Favor. Check out their website, doingthefavor.com. They got the SKUs, the UPCs, and while you're over there, listen to their shows. So again, Doing the Favor, where Eric and Barry, Eric was talking about noodles, and the noodles he would cook up, and he adds all this stuff, and he's like becoming a gourmet chef. It was actually kind of funny. He's
like ramen noodles?
Yeah, he says there's these thicker noodles that they release at Walmart, and he says because some people are bigger, they run out of the noodles over at Walmart, these thicker noodles.
I see.
And he finally he found a case of them, and he was like, he went to town on them. Anyways, he became a chef, dude. Just he was like Gordon Ramsay talking about what he was adding to it, like diced up onion, crack an egg. I was like, oh, that sounds hella good. Anyways.
So soon you could be talking about his new YouTube show, Cooking with Mr. Brown.
And Barry would just be eating cheesy eggs, which are delicious, by the way.
Yeah, that would actually be pretty funny. Eric's cooking and Barry's just eating in the background.
He's just eating cheesy eggs.
Yeah, nothing to do with what Eric's cooking. Just Barry's eating. That would be awesome.
So check out doingthefavor.com and their show over there. Also, I want to throw it over to the Positively Pro Wrestling podcast. Steve and Eric, this past show for the 4th of July, they put out like a patriotic wrestling show, which is kind of cool. They talked about all the patriotic stuff that has happened in wrestling and their favorites. For example, Mr. America.
Aha, Lex Luger.
Lex Luger was the first one they kicked it off on. And anyways, that still frustrates me.
Well, okay, but why does it frustrate you?
Okay, so they do this 3 or 4 month build.
Yep.
And it's such a strong build, and you get behind Lex. Everybody's believing in the Lex Luger and the Lex Express and all that stuff. And they get to SummerSlam, and he wins by countout.
Yeah, and then they dropped all the confetti and the balloons, and you're like, he didn't win the belt.
But he didn't win the belt.
Yeah, and guys are like hoisting him up on their shoulders, and it was very weird. I agree with you.
Yeah. It's one of the poorest booking decisions. Oh, God, could you imagine if the internet was around back then?
Yeah.
Dude, talk about a field day.
Oh, my goodness. You think they're bad with Raw right now? What they would have done with that event? Oh, boy.
Yeah. Any hoot. So check out that episode of Positively Pro Wrestling podcast. Steve, we love you, dude. Chick Foley's show. Marco, Sheena, Seth, putting together a fun show and have a fun Facebook group. Scott, you mentioned them earlier tonight. It's a lot of fun over at that Facebook group.
And you learn some things.
You do. So check out the Chick Foley's Facebook group on, Facebook, and check out their show anywhere where you get your podcast from. Wrestling Cheers, Justin, very observant of you to realize Scott is not literally sitting next to me.
Just virtually.
Virtually sitting next. So wait, sitting alongside next to me is my real life. Wait, no, I can't say it. Virtually sitting next to me.
Yes.
That's how it has to. That's how it has to go. No. But we want you to check out the Wrestling Cheers podcast with Justin Summers, where he talks about AIW. He did a Q&A last week on his show, dude, and he gave his Chipotle order, and he was running down everything he gets in the burrito. I was all, ooh, that sounds so good if it wasn't from Chipotle.
So we are kind of spoiled out in this neck of the woods. We have a lot of taquerias that, like, Chipotle is good. Right? But when you eat at a lot of the taquerias around here, good doesn't cut it. Because there are just some taquerias that put Chipotle to shame.
Dude, our worst taqueria can put Chipotle to shame.
Obviously, we're not sponsored by Chipotle.
Or any taqueria.
Or any, unfortunately, any taqueria. Yes, that's a good point. Although I will say there is a taqueria here in town that I refuse to eat at. I don't want to name it. You know, I'm not here to like bury anybody's business, but I had food poisoning for exactly 48 hours after eating their, the green pork, chili verde. I had a chili verde burrito and woke up at like 2 a.m. with all of the symptoms, and it literally lasted a whole 48 hours. So I will never eat there again. The bad part is my oldest daughter's boyfriend worked there for a minute. So, of course, your first thought is, go get some free food. No, not even free. Never chancing it again. I won't name it by name, but there is a taqueria here in Tracy that Chipotle is actually better than.
Which sucks, too, because they used to have some really good food.
That's why I went there. Yeah, it was like 10 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock at night we went in. They're one of the only taquerias in town that stays open late. So we went in there. Oh, I was so happy. Chowed down on the chili verde burrito. It was so good. And then paid for it for the next 2 days.
Oh, dude, that's weak because their food was so good when I used to go out there all the time.
Yeah, it was awesome. And you know what? It might still be good, and I might have just gotten, the tail end of their chili verde that night, and it literally wrecked me. All bad. But yeah, I remember it being really good, but I don't know. I'll never find out.
Next time I'm out there, dude, we need to go to that pizza place that sells out within 2 hours.
Yeah, there's that pizza place here in Tracy called Hella Pie, which is, appropriate for California. You call our place Hella Pie, but it's outstanding. They have the Bam Bam Bigelow and awesome, awesome pizza. So yeah, that's definitely a good spot. And they started doing square pizzas too. They call them square pies.
Like Detroit style?
Like Detroit style, exactly. And they're smaller. They're almost like a personal pizza. But that place is so good. If you're ever in Tracy, hit up Hella Pie. That place is awesome.
Detroit style. Shout out to my buddy Fred, who's from Detroit.
There you go.
Also, check out our buddy RJ over at Ringside Rant. He has been getting some killer guests lately. He just sat down with Killian Dane for an interview.
Nice.
Yeah. RJ, we're happy for you, man. So
Congrats,
out RJ.
Dude.
Check out RJ over at Ringside Rant. Check out Marty and Rucker over at Boot to the Face. Also, check out Tim's Pulling Up a Chair. And Scott, Drunk Wrestling History. What you got?
Yes. Eddie, Adam, myself, weekly show. You can follow us on Twitter at wrestling_drunk. The show that dropped this past Friday is an overview and a summary, maybe a few choice words, for the infamous Brawl for All tournament. Yes, Dark Side of the Ring covered it, but we had to throw in our 2 cents too. So we have a quick episode about the Brawl for All, the hilarity that ensued, the unfortunate injuries that came of it. We cover all of it. Drunk Wrestling History, wherever you find your podcasts at. Again, on Twitter at wrestling_drunk. Because we are Drunk Wrestling History, we're not always accurate, but we are always drunk.
Wait a second. Did you guys do as good of a job on it as Vice did?
No, of course not. Because they have an hour-long show. We did a 205 jive on it. So we only did about maybe 20, 25 minutes tops on it.
Oh. Yours will be better because you guys were drunk.
Right. And we didn't hold back. Granted, Jim Cornette didn't hold back either, but he wasn't drinking. We were drinking.
Check out Drunk Wrestling History. Also check out our buddies Marty and Sarah Love Wrestling. And every single day, Ryan Buds does trivia with Buds. And if you're in the Tennessee area, or state, I guess I should say, Ryan Buds is out there now, and I think he's starting to hit up some breweries and do some trivia, so check him out if you are in that area. I'm not sure if he's in Nashville or wherever he is in Tennessee, but look him up on Facebook, and if he's hitting up any breweries, go check out his live trivia with Buds. Scott, roll call.
Yes, going to start off with the amazing, super talented Jason Wolf. If you need artwork, Jason is your guy. Hit him up on Twitter or any social medias at The Art of Jason Wolf, or better yet, head over to his website, Doyle, Doyle draws.com. You can get in touch with the man himself, commission some artwork. Hit him up, super professional. Your work is done quickly, your work is done correctly, and looks incredible. The man himself, Jason Wolf. Give him a follow again, social media, at The Art of Jason Wolf. If you need artwork, Jason is your guy. And Jeff, I want to throw it out this week to all the figure photographers out there that brighten up my timeline and should brighten up yours as well. There's a ton of them out there. Figure Kingdom, the great Nate at Ring Skirts on Twitter. There's so many. I don't want to leave anybody out, but there's a ton. If you go check out one, you're going to see links to all the other ones. Give them a follow. I love seeing figure photography on my timeline, and I don't thank them enough, not as much as I should. But there is some great, great figure photography out there. James Bowen, just some great stuff. Give those guys a follow. Brighten up your social media timelines. And Jeff, that rounds out roll call.
Great call, man, on bringing up the figure photographers. They're doing some great jobs. Scott, for episode 286, anything else?
Stay safe, stay healthy, Fig Life since 2016, and happy toy hunting.
I want to thank everyone for listening to episode 286, hashtag Fig Life. Adios.
Yeah. Fullyposeable. Let's go. Jeff and Scott, the Toon Brothers, busting out the ring, but we don't take it out the box. MOC. Happy toy hunting. We'll see you next week with the OGs of WFP. Fullyposeable, thank you all for listening. It ain't no storyline, real life siblings. So everybody go and do your toy spotting. Hashtag Fig Life, adios from the Kings.